The following episode may contain inappropriate material. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Mattalk. Today's episode will cost you $1.75. So if you could just send that check to Mattalk_podcast on Twitter.
I like that it's $1.75. Very economical. Oh man, it is a great episode. Of course, it's Jason and John here at actually your house here. Your place.
We are at my place.
We haven't done this in a while, man. We should do this more often.
We really should.
And it just, I think there's a different energy. Yeah, a different energy when we record these together than when we do it remotely, if you will. But it's good to be here. Where's Peanut, the cat?
She is around here somewhere.
So she may make a guest appearance, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think she can break anything, so I think we're safe.
You say that. But that's kind of like a challenge for a cat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, 100%. But she's pretty much just, since Kylie went on vacation, she's just been sitting by the door staring for Kylie to come home.
Well, you know.
4 days. She's
well,
been staring at the door.
Well, I mean, clearly you are not the master of the cat. Your daughter is.
Obviously, the dog is my... She's like literally grows out of my leg.
She's just sleeping on the ottoman part of your recliner, I guess you could say.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, let's let people know that the episode that we're going to be taking a look at is called The Ambassador, and it's a two-parter. So we're going to handle it as if it's one solid episode, talking about both parts. So with that, should we just go ahead and go right into it?
We shall. I do want to point out that this should have been the season premiere, but continue.
All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our opening statements. As I've already said, this episode is called The Ambassador, and it was a two-part episode. Part 1 aired on December 6, 1988, with Part 2 airing December 13th, 1988. And boy, oh boy, we are packed. I say packed with guest stars, Jason.
All right, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here for just a quick second and say that we get Tyler Hudson in this episode, and I was very happy about that.
Well, we get a heavy dose of Tyler Hudson on this Part 1 and Part 2, don't we?
Yes.
But you know what? He's not really a guest star. I know you joke about him being a guest star because, you know, hasn't always been in all of these episodes, especially in Season 2 and Season 3. But it's good to see Tyler back. But let's talk about the true guest stars. And the one that we have to start off with is Lisa Hartman. She will be playing the role of Shelby Russell. Now, I remember as a kid that Lisa Hartman was a big deal. She was on Knots Landing. She was one of the integral characters, Kathy Gary. She had been several different characters on The Love Boat, on Fantasy Island. She was Jenny Cooper in the movie Where the Boys Are. And most folks may know that she is married to country superstar Clint Black.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have a kid, too. I think, by now, the kid is probably, I don't know.
50s?
Not that long, but yeah, he's probably in his 20s and that. But yeah, so Lisa Hartman will be Shelby Russell. Our next one is a gentleman by the name of Dorian Harewood. He will be playing the role of Edward Kramer. You may know him as 8-Ball in Full Metal Jacket, Hallmark in the wonderful Jean-Claude Van Damme film Sudden Death.
Oh man, Sudden Death is my favorite. It is Die Hard in a hockey rink.
And sadly, I don't hate the film, but I don't love the film. It was, I remember when they were making the movie. In fact, the fact that they made that movie caused the Pittsburgh Penguins, by the way, to be in debt for a very long time and crippled the franchise. But that's another podcast for another time.
Blu-ray.
Do you?
I have Sudden Death on Blu-ray.
I see
have
it.
DVD as well.
Anyways.
I upgraded, but nobody wants Trunk Club. Nobody wants DVDs in general anymore. So.
He also played Monstar Bumpkiss in Space Jam, and he currently is Judge Robertson in Bel Air. So when you see Harewood, Darian Harewood, you go, oh yeah, that guy. Because I just gave a smidgen of some of his work. I mean, he's been in tons of other things as well.
Was he on Bel Air or Fresh Prince of Bel Air?
No, he's on Bel Air right now as a judge.
I knew he looked familiar.
Mm-hmm. Our next guest star, John Rubinstein, will be playing the role of Dr. Douglas Clark. We've already seen John Rubinstein. He was in the episode called The Investigation. This is the one with Sam Gerard as the mobster. And as a matter of fact, I think, quick shout out, good friend of the podcast, Justin, sat in with us on that one. And we had a great old time talking about that episode. But also, Rubinstein is also known for playing Judge Pap on The Practice, Linwood Morrow on Angel, Secretary of State Alex on 24, and Baron Axel von Reichert on the TBS show Claws. We're going to get another individual returning, David Ogden Stiers. He will be playing the role of Thomas Baldwin, but he was Arthur Hampton in the episode Blind Justice. Remember the one about the blind guy that killed his wife?
I remember him now. Yep.
Yeah. He was also known as Mr. Mallard on Regular Show, Reverend Purdy on The Dead Zone. He did a lot of voice work for Lilo and Stitch projects and playing the role of Jumba Jukaba. So, yeah, David Ogden Stiers, you'll definitely recognize him for sure. Anne Haney will be playing the role of Mrs. Farrell. We probably know her best from her roles as Greta on Liar Liar, Mrs. Sellner in Mrs. Doubtfire, and she, too, has appeared in 2 other previous Matlock episodes as Nurse Jackson and Aunt Elsie.
I love her.
Well, she's iconic for that role in Mrs. Doubtfire, which, weirdly enough, I just watched about 3 or 4 weeks ago, just on nothing going on a Saturday night. My girlfriend wanted to watch something. We both agreed that would be a good thing to watch. It was light. It was,
I haven't seen it in a while. I need to watch it with Kylie.
All right, our last couple of guest stars. Albert Hall will be playing the role as the prosecutor. He was probably also known as Bruce on the show Men of a Certain Age. Andrew Milliken on 24. Judge Walsh on Ally McBeal. And The Practice. Do you remember Judge Walsh?
I don't. It's been 4 million shows ago that I watched Ally McBeal and The Practice. Good shows, though.
Yeah, you know what? I really liked Men of a Certain Age. It was a drama / comedy that was on TBS for a while with Scott Bakula, Ray Romano, and
Val Johnson. I know the show.
No, it wasn't Reginald Vaughn Johnson.
It wasn't?
No, it was Andre Brower.
What show was he on then? I gotta look that up because he was on a TBS show also.
Yeah, no, this one was good. I liked it. It's a shame it didn't stick around. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see once again Daniel Roebuck returning as Alex Winthorp. As we very well know, he will be Cliff Lewis in just a few seasons from now. All right, then, Jason, I think if there's nothing else to discuss, I have one very important question for you.
Let's testify.
All right, forget the question that I was going to ask, but nonetheless, let's get ready.
To testify.
All right, the plot of The Ambassador, both part 1 and part 2, is that Matlock must go to New York City to defend a British ambassador accused of killing his lover's husband. All right, opening scene. We see the skyline of New York City with also some shots of the very glitzy sections of New York City, along with a little hanky-panky mixed in there and that neat little overlay that they were shooting. Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Little hanky-panky always is a good way to start off the show, huh?
It is. Matlock loves hanky-panky. The character, which we'll get into that in the next episode, but...
All right. So basically, we come out of that opening scene with Shelby Russell in bed with her lover, which turns out to be Anthony Stewart. And all of a sudden, Shelby's husband, Michael, comes home. First of all, I'm just going to throw it out there because it's all on our minds. How many years difference in age is there between Michael and Shelby?
I don't think that matters when you're rich, John.
Oh, when you're a rich, powerful titan of industry, it doesn't matter, huh?
No.
Okay.
Money. Make it rain.
I'm saying there's got to be at least 30 years between the two.
Probably.
I'm going late 20s for her, late 40s, 50s. Oh, 50s, excuse me, late 50s for him.
Yeah, that's fair.
I liked the nice camera cut that the director or the cinematographer made, because it's obvious that Michael's going to haul off and hit his wife or whatever she is. At this point, we don't know. And they cut to like another scene, right? Where Anthony Stewart is going to be given an award for his philanthropy. All of a sudden, here comes Shelby Russell. Why would you go? If you just had this run-in, like a few hours ago, or at least it seems to be a few hours prior to this, why would you go? Why?
Because you got balls.
I guess so.
She wanted to go.
I guess, but it just seems to me like, look, man, your husband or whatever Michael is to you just backhanded you. He's mad. He suspects somebody was in the bed with you because they left their watch behind, et cetera, et cetera. I would not be going.
I wouldn't go either. Yeah. But, we don't know why she chose to go.
Well, anyways, Michael shows up and he decides to embarrass Anthony by showing him the gold watch that he found at his bedside table there. And then one of the lamest fights ever occurs on Matlock.
Can you call that a fight? I don't know if I'd call that a fight.
Okay, good point. Maybe it's not a fight because it was ridiculous. Anthony and Michael got into it, and it literally seemed like he threw a punch, and then Anthony pushed him into a salad bar or something. I mean, it was a lame fight.
Yeah.
It's super
100% lame.
I know. What they should have done is recreated the fight in the alleyway from They Live between the two. That would have been awesome. Anyways. So Anthony gets a call from Shelby, and she's claiming that Michael is out of control drunk. So Anthony decides to go over to her place, and what do you know? He finds Michael dead. And then Anthony is KO'd, but he manages to doesn't manage. He tries to catch the assailant, but the cops arrive, and Anthony just runs away. All right, let's talk about this, because this is always a part of this podcast where we discuss your pet peeve about discovering the body. What do you think? Did he do an okay job discovering the body? Yes or no?
He did fine.
He did fine?
Fine.
So like a C,
yeah,
not an A+, not an F, a C.
A C.
A C, okay. Alex arrives to represent Anthony because Alex is apparently one of the members of the law firm that represents Anthony Stewart. And I would think that, like, if you're a British, like, representative to the UN or whatever, wouldn't you have a British lawyer and a British law firm?
No. Matlock's internationally known.
Well, I mean,
we've established this.
Wait.
If there is a lawyer in the world to call, it's Matlock. It doesn't matter your race, your nationality, where you're from.
We're talking about Alex. We're not talking about Ben.
No.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to him.
Okay. All right. He's internationally known to rock a microphone.
I don't know why they
his
chose
name is Rob Bass.
Williams. Cliff Williams is a
Cliff Williams. Who's Cliff Williams?
I don't know. Cliff, whatever his name is. He is the bumbling sidekick of this series. I take back everything negative I said about Conrad because I watched an episode of Conrad. Now I'm pushing all that negativity to him.
Okay. Well, his name is Alex Winthorp, but okay. Alex arrives. I again just think that maybe you would have a British, but I don't know. Maybe the British law firm sent Alex because it's their American, business partners or whatever, law partners or whatnot.
No, he seems like one of those lawyers that you send when you don't want to deal with it yourself.
Well, and I think that's alluded to. They kind of hint at that in the episode too. All right, so
I'm not a fan of this guy.
You're not a fan of Alex Winthorp?
Not really.
Okay.
He's just a silly person.
Okay. I'll hold off on my. I have thoughts about Alex too, but I'm going to hold off here. The cops, they read what Shelby Russell stated in the statement. She pretty much blames Anthony for the murder. She claims that he came in, he killed Michael, etc., etc. And so we cut to a scene with Les Calhoun and Ben Matlock Eating some Chinese dinner.
One, Les was a lot better in this episode than he was in the previous episode.
Agreed.
And I said it at the beginning. I feel like this show, the overall theme song at the beginning, the techno, whatever, this episode feels more like a season opener than the one we got previous. Mm-hmm. The one we got previous seems like it was a throwaway from season 2 that they didn't add to the mix.
And I would agree with you on that statement. I think like this has the aura of being a bigger deal than the Lemon, which was the first episode of season 3. Alex Winthorp calls to get some advice, what he should do, and Ben gives him some advice, and then there's some more Chinese food consumed by Ace Calhoun. And the next scene, we see Alex reporting to the shareholders that Anthony won't use his immunity, right? And Alex pitches Ben as the lawyer. And so it's kind of somewhat agreed to that Ben is going to help Alex with this case.
First of all, I'm joking. I think Alex is fine. But
well, wait a minute.
Secondly,
you're waffling like a politician.
No. Well, Alex was fine. I was goofing in jest. But I got to say, like, how does he know Matlock?
I don't know. See, that was a question that I had. How does Alex, excuse me, not Anthony, but Alex know Matlock? And I think they alluded real quickly to that they have a past, but they never explain what the past is.
See, the whole time I'm watching this, I know that he eventually becomes Matlock's sidekick, but I didn't remember the name of his character in the future episodes. I'm like, is this the guy? Like, does this character roll over? Because at the end, they even hint, I hope we get to work together again.
Right, exactly. I wrote that down in my final synopsis there that, I felt like they could have just used Alex Winthorp. They've already introduced him. They should have just used him rather than create another individual Cliff Lewis. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That was a big question I had. My other question was this is, in certain scenes, it appears that they were not shooting in New York City. I want to know how many days did they actually shoot in NYC?
None.
You say none?
Where did the show normally shoot? In LA?
In Los Angeles.
That's where they shot the show.
But there were some things that they shot, exteriors and whatnot. I bet they spent a couple of days in New York City. They had to.
You don't think it was on a soundstage?
Some things, yes. Because there's a couple of instances I have in my notes where it's like, yeah, that looks like a soundstage. So, by the way, I again always comment on this. I know it's really obvious, but I did notice that they had a sweeping shot of the cityscape with the Twin Towers in the background.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody went out there and did ADR.
ADR?
I don't know. What the hell is it called?
ADR is when you do audio dialogue.
Somebody went out there and did some like photography and just wide, shots
so
of
you
New York.
think instead of they shoot it all on a side or on a set in LA and they just sent a crew out there to do the exteriors? That's probably
a lot
exactly
cheaper than sending the actors.
True. All right, so Ben walks around New York City and he finds a hot dog cart.
$1.75 for a hot dog? That is ridiculous. He can get them for 75 cents at home.
Yeah, and you know what? The New York hot dog dealer does not give a damn one way or the other, does he?
No. You can still get him a dime a dog night, but man, I'd love to pay $1.75 for a hot dog.
Well, also in the process, by the way, Ben gets pickpocketed, and then his briefcase is swiped, and then finally, Alex shows up, right? And this is where they allude to that Alex may be the guy that they send just to make this go away, because he says, and I quote, he only crunches the numbers. So it's kind of alluded to, I guess he has a law background, but like they don't trust him to do anything.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Low man on the totem pole.
He is. Poor Alex.
No. Ben interviews Anthony, and he advises him not to interact with anybody whatsoever, which then leads us to Ben and Alex going to the murder scene. I did find it funny that the lieutenant who's at the murder scene does not care about Ben's bugging whatsoever. No. Which I thought it was kind of presumptuous of Ben to just go, I'll just tell this cop. One cop, hey, cop is a cop, right? It doesn't matter who I talk to, right?
No, you would think so.
No.
Yeah.
No, you go
One cop, let him talk about it. Give Matlock his money. Help him out.
You don't just stop any old cop and go, excuse me, I just got mugged. Especially a lieutenant.
Can you put this murder investigation on hold for a minute? My wallet is missing. You know how he is about his money.
Oh, cash rules everything.
He did not
around.
want to spend that extra
Matlock.
dollar on a hot dog. That man was serious. We didn't talk about that scene enough. Like, Matlock was haggling with the hot dog guy.
You know what? Let's talk for a minute real quick. If Matlock was around in current days, do you think he would be very, very upset with the price of things?
Oh, my God. He'd never go anywhere. He would just move into, like, a hotel above the courthouse. And he'd just take an elevator up and down. He's got the hot dog stand. What does he need anything else for?
I think we just came up with a new law comedy on our hands here, huh?
I think we did.
I think we did.
And I came up with a new drinking game for Matlock, too. Whenever he eats a hot dog, take a shot.
Oh, some episodes you'd be on the floor within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get back on track here.
Or if he says jackass.
Right. There is no murder weapon. The candlestick is missing. So Alex and Ben, they go to Russell's office, and Michael Russell's office.
When you heard that the weapon was a candlestick, did you for a second think about Clue?
I did. I
did.
absolutely did.
I'm like, was it done in the study?
By Colonel Mustard. The office is totally empty. Like, there's nothing but 2 desks in there. And there's this other dude who we find out his name is Robert Unger. What a great name Unger is. It just sounds like you're such an angry individual. If your name is Unger.
Unger, or you're dumb. I could see Unger being a dumb name.
Okay,
too.
I'll give you that. But I just think you're an angry, angry individual.
No offense to anybody with the name Unger that is listening to us. You're listening to us, so we assume you're smart and a very nice young man. But
yes, or young lady.
Yes, this individual really just struck us as.
But if your name is Unger, feel free to let us know. You can shoot us an email. Where at, Jason?
benmattalk@gmail.com.
Or you can find us on Facebook at Mattalk Podcast, or on Twitter, Mattalk_podcast as well. Okay, so anyways, so we go back to, so they basically they being Alex and Ben, they kind of chase the guy away, Robert Unger. So they go back to the office, and what do you know? Ben finds this ledger. It's a green ledger. All right, so we go to the courtroom. First courtroom scene that we've had in this episode. Shelby testifies with the same story that she gave the cops, all right? So Shelby Russell says this is the exact same thing that happened. Anthony barged in, he killed Michael, blah, 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 blah. By the way, man, oh man, is the judge not having any of Ben's silliness, man.
No.
This judge, I think his name was Quai.
Yeah.
Judge Quai. Man, oh man, he's not putting up with any shenanigans.
No, the Atlanta shenanigans need to go back to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. You talk about a home court deal. This is crystal clear in this episode. You're in LA. You're playing by their rules, man. I'm sorry. You're in New York. You're not in LA. You're in New York. You're playing by those rules, man.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of TV lately, and as watching Matlock, I'm like, Judge was paid off.
You think the judge was paid off on this one?
No, I mean, I don't, but for a brief second, I did.
Okay.
I had just finished watching The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix, and so I had that in the back of my mind, and I'm like, yeah, this judge is paid off.
Well, there is a media circus outside of the courtroom, and lo and behold, guess who's going to rescue Shelby Russell? Tyler Hudson.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's my only thing. Clearly, he does it to get information for Ben, but if you're Shelby Russell, why are you just going to accept help from this random guy that just happens to get in the middle of this media scrum and get you out of, why would you trust him?
Because he got right in there and got you out of the situation?
No.
No, she's definitely too trusting, but John, the plot of the story needs to move forward.
I know, +2, let's be honest. Tyler Hudson, he's a smooth operator.
Yeah, and
That's
he's
why
got
she
that
listened to
trustworthy face.
Yeah, he does.
And that part.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, the part was fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt it was fresh. I mean, let's be honest. Tyler Hudson always is looking good.
Word.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Thomas Baldwin shows up to his office, and he finds Ben there, who interviews him and who shows him the ledger. And I love how he was like, oh, maybe I'll just give it to you. No, I'll hold on to it. I like that. That was really fun. I wrote down, Ben is flexing big time.
Oh, yeah.
And he does it multiple more times in this episode, so I love it. Baldwin is going to meet Kramer in a bar, and Tyler Hudson shows up. And he tries to get some information, but has to outrun some goons. And this is where, this scene specifically is where I first noticed, I'm like, this bar was a set. This was not shot in New York City at all. No. Not even shot in downtown LA. This was totally on the back a lot of NBC or whoever. I don't know if NBC, I think maybe NBC. I mean, it was on NBC, but I don't know who produced the show. So
Yeah, I don't either. I think CBS produced the show.
I think so. I think you are correct. So Tyler shows up to the hotel to help Alex with his stakeout. All right, because basically Alex is not doing so well with his stakeout.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just there. He's drinking lots of coffee. He's keeping an eye on Shelby because she went up to her room, all right, and which I think I skipped over in my notes, but he followed her. Alex is watching in the lobby, which I thought was like the worst idea ever. Like, why are you not on the floor that she is staying? Why are you in the lobby? Because immediately you know there's a back entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a terrible idea, Alex.
Yeah.
You're not surprised.
No, not at all. Give me obvious, Alex, for 500.
As I mentioned, Tyler and Alex eventually, while they're there, they decide to go up to Shelby's room. And Walla Walla, Washington, what do you know? It's empty. She gone.
She's gone. She pieced out.
Mm-hmm. The porter tells Tyler that Shelby left on foot. So obviously Tyler and Alex are off to go find her. In the meantime, we see that Ben is getting out of a cab and he sees the mugger who stole his stuff, which, I mean, he identified him by a coat. But my question would be, if I was an attorney, how many people have that coat in New York City?
A lot.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. Probably more than one guy. But nonetheless, Ben does not catch the mugger, but he does hurl an insult, calling him a jackass.
Jackass, take a shot.
Ben interrupts Kramer's massage, which I thought this was kind of rude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get it. Kramer's a suspect and he's a crime lord and whatnot, but still, don't interrupt somebody's massage. And first of all, I don't know if have you ever had a massage, by the way?
No, not a professional.
I have. I had one last year.
Was it the greatest?
It was pretty good, but you know, they give you the option of underwear or naked. So, you know, there's that. And I was like, what if Kramer had opted for naked? Obviously, he didn't even go for the underwear because he was in like a tracksuit or something.
Well, because Matlock knew this was on television, and it would not matter if he walked in.
So you're saying that basically standard and practices would have shot this down?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways.
I mean, they could have had a towel over him.
I'm just saying it's rude to interrupt a massage. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's not. That's fair.
But I liked that Ben got an impromptu massage as well. I thought this was pretty funny from the goon while he interviews Kramer. I thought that was pretty funny.
It was more of a chiropractor visit.
Yeah, it was more like that. Yeah, because he jerked his neck one way or the other. And so as Ben is leaving, he's followed by two goons, and they end up taking the ledger from Ben. But in a few moments, we discover it's blank. It's a dummy, man. It's a red herring. Ben, you crafty, man.
They fell for his bait.
They did. We also have the fact that Alex is still trailing Shelby. And then Ben decides to interview Dr. Clark, who is doing an autopsy. And Clark falls for the same trick with the ledger. These guys are dopes.
For a group of people that are not doing things as they should be, they are not smart.
They are not, man. They are not. And I wrote down again in parentheses, more flexing for Ben. So Alex is still after Shelby, and then they go into a subway, and then there's this little dipsy-do on the subway, and so she manages to, quote, get away, end quote, from Alex. Anthony and Ben are talking outside the UN. I think this was obviously shot in New York, this. And a car runs over Anthony, and we fade to black. To be continued. That ends part 1.
Dun, dun, dun.
So let's go into part 2, shall we?
When part 1 ended, I thought it was one of the best episodes I'd ever seen. Okay. We'll get more into that later.
Okay. All right. Part 2 has the same opening as part 1, minus the clips of the hanky-panky. Alex bursts into Anthony's room. We find out that Anthony Stewart is still alive, but he's in pretty bad shape. He's banged up pretty badly. Ben and Alex commiserate about losing Shelby. Anthony, again, has got this attitude about not wanting to use diplomatic immunity for the court case because for some reason it'll make him look bad and it'll ruin his career. And
diplomatic immunity.
We'll talk more about that in a minute. All right, Ben and Alex go over to Shelby's place, and they discover there's some old folks home receipts. Here we go. This is a funny part where there's a scene where Alex just happens to know where Tyler Hudson is. Like, just, I don't know, he's psychic or whatnot. He just knows that he's there in front of the Rockefeller Center area. I thought that was kind of funny. But basically, they decide they're going to go to Michael Russell's company, and they're going to try to sneak in. All right? So Alex goes to the bar to meet with Kramer, and there are no other partners there. And so Kramer agrees to Alex's ideas to replace Russell. But the goons arrive, and Alex is in trouble because he gave a fake name, but they didn't really buy it, etc., etc. Now for probably what I think is, again, some heavy flexing from Ben, but also kind of a little bit of a jerk move. Ben visits Mrs. Farrell, who is senile. She wants to sue the phone company. She talks about how people are tapping her brain and stealing her thoughts. And Ben uses this to his advantage. On one hand, ingenious. On the other hand, dude, that's wrong. You clearly know she is not of the sound mind. You're going to mess with her on that. Your thoughts?
He's getting the job done.
Okay. I'm just saying. I don't know, man. There's a line there, and I think he's crossing it. So, but anyways, Tyler.
Whatever it takes, John. Whatever it takes so your client wins.
I guess. So Tyler follows Kramer, the goons, and Alex to a warehouse where Alex, they reveal that, hey, we know who you are, blah, 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 blah. And then Alex gets roughed up a little bit. Shelby calls Anthony's hospital room and demands that you leave her mother alone. Rightfully so. And basically she makes an arrangement to meet Ben. And then we go back to the warehouse where Tyler's watching this deal go down with all of the criminals. Kramer, Clark, Baldwin, etc.
Yeah, they're diluting the medications.
Yeah, they're diluting medications and selling with third world countries. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess that's not a cool thing to do. And I guess that is a criminal empire. But I just kind of was thinking something different. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the more diluted it is, the more they have to sell. So
right.
The more money they make.
Right, I know. I just kind of, maybe I was in the realm of, well, this is 1988, so it's going to be some type of cocaine deal or something. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, if they're selling to third world countries, like, how much money could you make?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a very good question. I don't know. Although, here's one thing that I jotted down. 2 words. Pesky forklift.
Yes. I like this part. It's pretty fun.
It is fun. In fact, well, let's just go ahead and jump into it here. I think we're going to go a little bit further on my notes. There's a guy on a forklift that keeps like loading stuff up, and everywhere Tyler hides, it seems like the forklift shows up and takes another like package, until it's literally one parcel, and Tyler's behind it, and the forklift comes and gets it and pulls it up, and then spins around, and no one sees Tyler hanging onto the side of the thing. The side of the package, and he jumps down and scurries away. So it was very fun.
Yeah.
However, Tyler does find the captive Alex, and he does rescue him. Then we go to a scene where Shoulder Pad Shelby, and my God, they were gigantic, meets with Ben. She explains that there's no marriage between Michael and Shelby. They were just lovers. But she's also lovers with Anthony. So Ben tries to lay a guilt trip on Shelby. At this point, I was a little bit tired of the whole Shelby Russell storyline, but we'll get into that a little bit more here in a few moments. Back to the warehouse, Tyler runs interference so Alex can use the phone, but Bruno, the thug that beat him up, stops him. Wrestling fans, I enjoyed the extinguisher spot. I like that. That's very good. For those that are wrestling fans, you know what I'm talking about. The goons fight with Alex and Tyler until an alarm goes off. And then Tyler uses the forklift to stop the villains. I thought that was pretty awesome. He forks underneath the car and raises it up. I thought that was pretty good. I like that.
That was awesome.
I mean, it was reminiscent of some really hokey 80s TV, but it was good.
Yeah, 100%.
So now we go to the courtroom. Did you notice, and I don't know if you did, this is very, very minute detail, but Ben's pants and his sport coat, 2 different colors.
I did not notice.
Yeah. One was gray, one was white. And I'm like, Wardrobe, you done messed up for the day. So Ben puts the doorman on the stand. Now, the doorman was for, if I remember correctly, Shelby's apartment. He claims he was there all night of the night of the murder. But Ben reveals that the Rothbergs asked him to take their dog for a walk, so he wasn't at the door. So basically, the doorman lied, but Ben knew it and kind of helped him out a little bit, which I thought was nice of Ben, bending the rules a little bit for good, not for evil. But Ben has also slipped a mysterious note. A mysterious note from who?
Shelby Russell.
There. Or Shelby Russell. Anyways, she gives up the location of the murder weapon. It's ditched behind Kramer's home. And so, lo and behold, the cops, Ben, everybody goes, they find the murder weapon. And even though everything matches up, Ben still thinks there's something up.
Yeah.
Like this is just too coincidental.
Too convenient.
Very convenient. Absolutely. All right, Anthony celebrates the end of the trial. Ben gives a speech that is very foreboding. And then Ben is at the precinct and he scratches the candlestick, which...
Whoa, sir, that's evidence. Sir,
like that
sir,
guy...
that's evidence.
I mean, I've from everything I've seen in media, like if you're the property guy, like you're low on the totem pole, like you're the chump of the cops, right? So I get that, but still, dude, you can't let somebody openly deface property or evidence right in front of your face.
Yeah, he wasn't trying too hard to get it back.
No, he was not at all. I mean, Ben could have just stole the thing. I mean, heck.
Sir, you can't steal that. Come back.
Yeah.
Come back. I told him to come back, guys.
Sergeant, I told him to stop doing that. We go to another courtroom scene, and Ben is interrupting the proceedings to call Dr. Clark to the stand. Once again, the judge busts Ben for these antics. However, in this next few scenes, I really liked how they had like this high-angle camera shot that was like over the back of the judge, and it was different, something we've never seen in Matlock. I really liked it. I thought it was real good. Ben questions Clark about Farrell. And basically what we find out is that Mrs. Farrell, she had 2 kids, not just one. Dr. Clark is actually her son. That makes him the sister. Shelby, his sister.
Dun, dun, dun.
In which I wrote down, it seems that Dr. Clark was pimping out his sister to Michael.
Yeah.
And I thought we were over that. I thought there was going to be no more pimping people out.
No, man. There's always pimping people out.
I guess so. So Clark,
is a sister better than a daughter? Like, is it better to pimp your sister out than your daughter out?
No. I think pimping your daughter out is that's it right there. That's
the worst.
That's the worst.
Sister's underneath. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Mom would be underneath as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, just go back and listen to all of season 1 of Mattalk, and you'll get it. You'll understand how Ben Matlock loves to hook up his daughter to get information. But anyways, so basically it's revealed that Clark argued with Michael and kills him, and then Clark framed Kramer. All right. But my question is this, like, how do you smear Russell's blood on the fake candlestick? Because that was what the evidence was showing. And I'm like, and then they explain in the most ridiculous way possible that Dr. Clark removed Michael's blood from a blood bank. What? Seriously? That's absolutely ridiculous. Well, the case is dismissed. Alex and Ben say goodbye. The ATL is growing, says Ben. And so that's how we end. Jason, any other comments, questions, statements?
Diplomatic immunity.
I'm glad that you are hung up on that. Anyways, all right, with that then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John and I give our ratings on a gavel system. 5 gavels for fantastic episode, 1 gavel for it was awful. John, what do you give this episode of Mattalk?
Oh, you're stealing this from me. I like doing this part, but okay, Micro Machines guy. You sound like the Micro Machines guy.
I was just doing it as fast as you do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the podcast where John and I rate our on a gavel system, 1 gavel for...
All right. Anyways, you want me to go first?
Sure. Do it to you.
Okay. I give it 4 gavels, and I'll explain why. I thought that there was plenty of Tyler Hudson, and his parts were gold. I thought there was a great mix of action and drama. I thought the cast was great. As we've already talked, it seemed like it should have been a season premiere. It was really good. It had a big feeling to it. I actually enjoyed Alex Winthorp. I thought he's not as dopey and klutzy as Cliff Lewis will be, so I like that. Negatives, no Michelle Thomas. I thought the whole blood bank thing was hokey as hell. And I also didn't really dig I'm not going to use immunity because that'll ruin my career. And I
get that.
No, I didn't like that.
You don't want to look bad. It makes you look guilty if you plead diplomatic immunity.
I don't know. I didn't dig it.
Lethal Weapon 2, folks, if you're wondering where I got that from.
Yeah. So overall, I give it 4 gavels. What say you?
Episode 1 gets the 5 gavels for me. The first part, I thought it was fantastic. Perfect television for a season premiere. Second episode is 4 gavels for a lot of the same reasons you said, John. The ending, the twist of it's my sister. Yeah, but overall, I give this entire thing 4.5 gavels. And, neither one of us loved the last episode we did, the lemon. This episode really makes that one look even worse than I think we rated it.
Yeah,
because this is how Matlock should be. And I think every year, with the lemon being excluded from this conversation, the season premieres are getting better and better.
I agree. And I think the lemon is a fine episode if it was in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Hey, we've done a murder case. Here's one that's a murder case, but it's got some funniness with Don Knotts and that. I agree. I think that it's the placement is what the problem is with that. And I would love to know why it ended up being the season. Was it just the season premiere because Don Knotts was on it and it's the reunion of Andy and Don?
I mean, yeah. That seems like more of a mid-season kind of thing.
I agree.
Coming up on Matlock. Andy Griffith reunion.
I agree.
That you've been waiting for since the last Andy Griffith reunion.
Which I don't know when that was, but
I don't know. I think Return to Mayberry was after.
Yeah.
Matlock.
Was it?
Or during.
Return to Mayberry? I don't know. We're going to have to look that up. If anybody knows when Return to Mayberry aired, let us know by
BNMATTALK@gmail.com.
Well,
say hi.
By shooting us an email, and that was the email address. Or you can find us on Twitter at Mattalk_podcast or Facebook, Mattalk Podcast. All right, let's talk about our other podcasting projects, Jason.
Jump on 3geeks.ninja. You can find everything associated with me there. Follow me on Twitter at 3geekspodcast, at 3geeksj. Coming up live on yesterday's show, we had Halia Jones. So come listen to that. At this point, she's a friend of the podcast and a regular. Yeah. This is like her 6th appearance.
It is almost.
I love this lady. She's super nice, super down to earth. So
how many Canadian friends do you have on 3 Geeks? Because you have Michigan.
We haven't talked to Michigan in forever.
Camacho.
I talk to Camacho regularly. Hashtag Camacho for Scream 6 on Twitter.
We're talking about Jesse Camacho, by the way, actor
from Working Moms and Lock and Key. And yes, hashtag Camacho for Scream 6. I'm trying to get that to happen. He promised me an exclusive interview about it if I got him cast.
Wait a minute, time out. You don't get a small part in the movie?
I don't need a small part in Scream 6.
Sure you do.
Yeah, as long as he's in it and he can tell me about the experience, I'm down.
Okay. Man, you work cheap.
I am cheap.
All right, the PVD Cast is my own personal podcasting project. You can find it at pvdcast.com or all those usual outlets, ladies and gentlemen. There's a ton of great episodes. I really just can't get into all of them. Just check out the catalog either on pvdcast.com or through whatever fine podcasting application or outlet you use. And with that, since we're going a little bit long, let's wrap this up. You ready to get out of here, Jason?
I am ready to go. I need to go grab a hot dog for $1.75. Oh, wait, it's 2022. They're like $472.
That's true. Very true. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as they say in court, nothing further.
The following has been a joint production between the 3 Geeks Podcast and John Orlando Enterprises, LLC, Copyright 2022.